Hello and welcome, my fellow followers of chaos, to another Total War campaign focus, the series where I play the first few years of a Total War campaign and tell you my thoughts and what to expect in the beginning. Today, the Tanukhids, for the 6th time. Oh my god, you guys wouldn't believe how much trouble I had getting this campaign going the first couple of times. It took me like 4 attempts to get to this area, pretty much, because I was going the wrong way, basically. I'll explain that when we get to the beginning. And then when I actually got a full episode done, the game crashed and I lost all of it because it corrupted. So yeah, hopefully this one goes good. The Tanukhids, your faction leader is Tuba Karib. Your Eastern Christians, like most of the factions here, other than Himyar, who are Judaists? They're Jews, okay. Here's a little description about them traveling and being a rebellion against the Roman Empire and blah blah blah, being hired by the Roman Empire sometimes, but then they got sick of that shit and they went to war with them. Their cultural trait is the Desert Kingdoms, of course, so +2 sanitation, immune to desert attrition, +15 melee attack during desert battles, and increased public order penalty for religious stuff. But that doesn't bother you because you're a horde in the beginning, woohoo! And then their unique faction traits, the legendary raiders, rapacious hordes. Food obtained only through settlement battles when horde, so yeah, you need to basically attack settlements and steal all their food. Additional horde growth when you win battles. And raiding stance provides free rebellion militia units. So, just before we get into the campaign, a lot of people are considering this like a trial run for orcs for Total War Warhammer, and I can kind of see where people are getting that from. Of course, orcs don't have settlements; they'll be hordes basically. So the food from settlement battles, that makes sense because orcs always sack and loot everything. Winning battles is very important to orcs because that just makes sense. The additional horde growth through winning. That's what happens with orcs. As a war boss wins battles, more orcs are like, wow, that's cool. I'm going to join his army. Ah. I don't even know what kind of accent. I don't know what kind of accent I threw on top of that, but oh well. And of course, raiding stance gets free units. So I mean, like raiding as orcs will probably, I don't know. Anyway, we're talking too much about a different game. Sorry about that. You gotta survive until 425, control 40 settlements, completely control these 3 provinces, 10 technology, 60 units, 25,000 wealth. Excellent. Let's get right into the campaign. So, everyone, welcome to the Tanukhid campaign. As you can see right off the bat, you have 2 hordes, one led by your faction leader, Tuba Karib. He has an army of 14 units, including himself, the Desert Chieftain. That's a unit we've seen before. You have 3 unique units in the form of Desert Pikes. Well, it's 1 unique unit, but there's 3 of them. Jeez. These are actually very, very good units in the beginning. They're very light pikemen. So, I mean, you can't really expect them to hold up to, like, super heavy stuff. But, I mean, at the moment, there's not much heavy stuff. But, I mean, a pike unit with a good missile block chance, I mean, like, look at those shields. They're definitely a very solid force to be reckoned with in the beginning. Tanukhid ambushers are another unique unit. These guys are beasts on a rear charge. Of course, they won't hold their own at all in a line versus line fight, so you definitely don't want these guys on the front lines. If you hold units with pikes and then charge with these guys, the enemy's gone. Another unique unit, the Rebellion Militia. Do I really even need to talk about it? Look at the stats. They're free, and their stats explain that, basically. They're pretty much fodder, and they have a good missile block chance because they have big wicker. I assume it's wicker shields. So they're good for soaking up hits. There's 120 of them, just like any other unit. So I mean, but of course the morale isn't really there. Actually, they have just as much morale as your pikemen. So yeah, you definitely want these being hit by stuff before anything else. Then you got Desert Bowmen. We've seen those before. And Mavia's Lancers. These are a unique unit. Very good, devastating on the charge. So yeah, you definitely want those guys. Well, they're a shock cavalry. Of course you want them to charge the rear and stuff. So in your second horde, you have an army of 9 units led by Kalisa. That being Rebellion Militia, which is useless. Of course, he's a Desert Chieftain as well. Bowmen, and then another unique unit, the Body of Skirmishers. They're so expensive. So much upkeep for them. As you can see, melee attack 10, weapon damage 32, so that's pretty good. Don't have a charge bonus, of course. They're just a very light skirmisher. They're not really going to have much weight to them. Melee defense 35. They don't have They don't have much stats. But what they make up for is the fact that they have 10 javelins that do 100 damage, so they're going to be devastating against cavalry and pretty much anything really. Then you have another unique unit, the Dune Lancers, which is just the same thing as Mavia's Lancers, basically. Well, not stat-wise, of course, but I actually prefer using these because they have fear. They cause fear to people, so... Or, well, they have the fear ability. Maybe, like, all the Lancers cause fear, I don't know. But anyway, let's look at their diplomatic situation, excuse me. You start off at war with the Eastern Romans, of course. Lazga and Nobadia, because they're their client states, or puppet states, rather. The Lockmans start off liking you a lot. Gassanids, they're okay with you, they're going up. But they're at war with the Sassanids, so you probably shouldn't even bother with them. You also start in their lands. And the Sassanids actually start off hating you, because of your religious aversion and great power. But as you start fighting the Eastern Romans, that's going to change. As you can see, where they differ from the other Empires of Sand factions is they have no top religious thing because they're a horde. They don't need it. You're not going to be dealing with religious problems until you settle. So they just have a pretty basic tech tree where you just go through like any other faction. There's no splitting off for religious reasons, which is nice. It's less turns you have to spend on stuff like that. So yeah, guys. Once I'm going to try to get as much done in this video as I can. And yeah, we're going to show you the unique quest line for this faction. Hopefully we'll be able to get some of that done. And we'll see if we can get pretty far. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a little bit. So guys, here we see the beginning of the unique quest line for the Tanukhids, which is an audience with Mavia, which is the mother of your faction leader, Tubal-Caryb. So what you need to do is raise 5 Roman-controlled regions in 100 turns, and you unlock the Victory Parade building. And yeah, it's pretty simple start. I'm pretty sure once you get this objective done, the next is to like liberate 3 factions or something like that, or subjugate 3 factions, whatever it is. But anyway, let's get further into this campaign. Hey guys, not a lot of content to be put into this video so far. It's not as... Well, it's definitely more interesting than the other campaigns due to it being a Horde campaign, but there hasn't been... Whoa, what are these guys doing all the way over here? But there hasn't been as much to actually film like the other campaigns. But I'm in quite a battle, as you can see, for this city. I'm not sure what it's called, but I know we're fighting the Nobateans, and we're about to subjugate them, I would imagine. But I thought I'd let you take a look at some of the later units, because I've managed to change out my pike units for the new Tanukhid pikes rather than desert pikes. So as you can see, they're pretty damn armored. Chainmail, big shields. These guys are running, so they have their swords out. I'll give you an example of what they look like actually fighting. Here's a unit here. They have their pikes down. I mean, like, look at that. Like, you can understand why they have their great missile block chance. And also they have armor-piercing damage, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, then there's also Mavia's Chargers. That's a newer unit. Just a step up from the Mavia's Lancers that we had before. So they're just more armored, it seems like a little bit, and they're just overall more powerful. We also got some Desert Tribesmen. They're not exactly... you could recruit these from the beginning with Tubal-Caryb's army, but I didn't get a chance to show you them. They're just your... They're a really good early melee unit. Not a lot of armor, but they're a lot more solid than some of the other units you'll be facing. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to show you what's been going on in this battle and what's been going on lately in the campaign. Since if you know where Nabatea is, you can tell I've gone a little bit far from where we started. I've raised and liberated everything from here to there. But anyway, yeah. I'll see you guys in a little bit when we get more in the campaign done. Okay, guys, so we've reached 400 AD in spring. 400 AD. So 5 years into the campaign, this is what we've done, basically. We started right around here. First thing we did was we took Nova Trajana Bostra and liberated that. So now Judea has amassed quite a force. They're actually marching around with us, which is cool. Then we went around and we raised these 2 settlements. I can't remember what they're called. We kept going. Had a big battle with Nobatea here and crushed their first force. Then we pushed across the the Nile. This is the Nile, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh God, geography is not right now. Then we took Alexandria, and then we pushed down here, raised this, fought Nobatea again at that siege battle I showed you guys, raised that, and Egypt has actually pushed themselves into more Eastern Roman lands, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, then we made our way back up. We raised, or we liberated Tyrus rather. We raised whatever this city was, and yeah, that's what we've done in a few years. Now I'm not sure, but when the Tanukhids settle, I don't know if it said that subjugated factions join you or if liberated join you. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm actually going to play a few more turns. This obviously you wouldn't want to settle right now, but I'm going to do it just for you know, oh geez, the sake of showing it. So we will see if these factions join your empire when you settle. I'm not sure. I don't think it's liberated factions. I think it has to be subjugate. But you don't even have a chance to subjugate people, really, so maybe it will be. Anyway, we'll see in a couple of moments. Okay, guys, so I've given it a couple turns after taking Tarsus, and no joining is going on, so it must be people who are your client states and satrapies and stuff like that. So I actually can't do that right now, because of course no one's going to be happy about becoming a client state. Yeah, it must be stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely don't settle early until you have a lot of stuff, because look how much I'm in the negative now, basically. But, yeah, that has been the Tanukhid campaign, guys. I did manage to finish that first quest for Mavia, so now we're on to the second part, which is Liberation, so I need to liberate 3 more factions in 100 turns. I'm not sure what you get as a reward for that, but, oh well. But yeah, it's definitely a very interesting campaign. Of course, if you guys have played a Horde faction, you guys are definitely going to be able to have fun with these guys. You just really need to know to not be tempted into going to these first few little settlements. You definitely want to get an Onager first turn, get some extra units, and then on the second turn attack Novo Trajana Bastra, take it, liberate it, move southwest rather, jeez. And that way you'll avoid all the Eastern Roman armies. Unless you stay here for a bit too long, they might attack you with 3 small ones. That's what happened to me. And I was easily able to overcome them and push onwards and take all of this stuff here. But yeah, guys, that has been the Tanukhid campaign, and this has been Overkill. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.